Sup, my name is Ray for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Welcome to my top 5 cards for January 2016. Basically a new series in a way. Well, it'll still be in the old series. Basically what we're going to do every month is we'll run down cards that I think will have the most impact, or you should be on the lookout for, how to counter them, things like that. Just something a little bit different, especially while I'm not feeling 100% to really put a proper top 10 together, so I wanted to still give you something today outside just the digital bug deck profile, which by itself is pretty cool, but still, you know, not everyone wants to see deck profiles, so I want to give you something a little bit different, so something for everyone. And for those who are wondering, yes, I am currently, even though I'm sick, I'm still working on the Blue Eyes combo video. Is almost done. It should be coming out by the weekend. I want to say on the weekend, but I'm not exactly sure, so once I know, it'll be the next couple of days. Once I know, you'll know. So let's go into this. Honorable mentions, Decree and Cyber Dragon Infinity. Why? Because people who are not going to buy Notice and still want to play to a competitive degree will play 3 Royal Decree. And some decks will just play Royal Decree because of Notice. So there's that. Cyber Dragon Infinity because, well, I couldn't fit it on the list, but I do think it's going to be used quite a bit. Plotamius to Cyber Dragon Nova to Cyber Dragon Infinity. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be disgusting. It's going to be a thing. So let's go into this top 5. My number 5 pick is Anti-Spell Fragrance. Mainly because, not because of its price, because it locks down pendulums until your opponent can set Twin Twister or set MST again. One of the reasons why I still enjoy MST as a thing, because I still think it's viable to a degree. I'm not saying Twin Twister shouldn't be ran, but some decks just can't afford the Twin Twister discard. So Anti-Spell Fragrance is definitely something that I could see being used constantly against Pendulum decks, especially against Pepe, because it's going to slow them down, and you could Twin Twister your scales. That's a way you can use it, as where it would sort of hurt you at the same time. A lot of the themes this month is pretty much going to be about either Breakers of Shadow, the meta for Breakers of Shadow, the only meta for Breakers of Shadow, and pretty much just everything you'll see that will be getting used until we get into the new format. So Anti-Spell Fragrance is definitely the big one to kick this off, because locking down all spell cards means your opponent can't use their Pendulum Zones, which means if they don't have Twin Twister, Royal Decree, or some out to it like MST, then they're screwed. They're absolutely screwed until they get it, which gives you a chance to just OTK them straight out. So keep that in mind. Anti-Spell Fragrance gonna be highly played. Number 4, if you haven't paid attention, Pendulum Sorcerer. It's part of the core to Pepe, ran at 3. It's going to be used not just in Pepe, but it's going to be used for a while. Pendulum Sorcerer is one of those things that you have to be very, very cautious of. When you see it, effect value that bitch right away, so that way they can't use the Ice Cream's effect. They can't break their scales without having to drop a Wavering Eyes. And if you're running Effect Veller and Trick Clown, those are also great options for right now to stop this one card and to stop Wavering Eyes. Because they play Wavering Eyes, they're going to break their scales. You play Trick Clown, they don't get Search. So that slows them down to a degree. Any part that you can slow them down, you want to slow them down. Effect Veller, the Sorcerer, same kind of scenario as it is with Wavering Eyes. It's what you want to stop. So, moving pretty quickly through the list, number 3 is Twin Twister. Comes from Breakers of Shadow. It's pretty much our, I want to say, Heavy Storm replacement, Harpy's Feather Dust replacement, the thing that we need but we don't get. This is big back row removal. I did say yesterday in the comments I wasn't a huge fan of it, because it's like, yeah, it makes the decks that play a lot of heavy back row need to run Huge Revolutions over, or Starlight Road if you would. I would suggest Huge Revolutions over by the time we get to Monarchs, because then you could just stop them from destroying your shit, and it banishes out the Twin Twister, so that's also a thing. But again, Twin Twister is so good. You probably already know Twin Twister is really good. Discard 1, destroy 2. It's pretty self-explanatory. Hit pendulums, hit back row, hit anything in your way, and then you ain't gotta worry about it. My number 2 pick is Solemn Notice, because Solemn Notice is going to be everywhere. It's going to be ran in 3s. Most of the deck profiles, I was saying this on stream yesterday, most of the deck profiles are going to end up looking the same with like 3 Notice, 2 to 3 Twin Twisters, some way to make Natori Beast, Max C's. They pretty much, there's going to be a good chunk where deck profiles look almost the same. Almost the exact same. So it is what it is, right? Solemn Notice, either you love it or you hate it. I don't think it's balanced, in all honesty, because at 1 it's balanced. Anything higher than 1, it starts to be a problem. And this is true with all the Solemn cards that basically have low cost, or either you can use them at any point in the game. This is one of those times where you can use it pretty much any point in the game, and it's only 1500, and you pretty much have an effect filler that destroys monsters. And you can negate other stuff with it too, so there's that also. So Solemn Notice is definitely going to be one pain in the ass card, needless to say. Final card, and if you have this with the Kree, your besties, is Natori Beast. You just mill off 2 cards, spell cards negated, they lose resource, they're going to have to play around it. If they can't play around it, then they're screwed. Combine this with Effect Filler and Decree, then you pretty much have won the game against 90% of the decks. They won't be able to play their Pendulum skills, they won't be able to swarm, it takes out a big issue. And I'll be honest, do I think the Natori Beast later down the line deserves to be on the ban list? No. Do I think that it's rising in popularity because of what we're going into? Yes. Do I think Natori Beast is an issue by itself? I'll say it again, no. Natori Beast is going to be seen. You got to be ready for it. Have a counter. If you're playing Kaijus, you're fine. Tribute, you get over anything. Kaijus are like the godsend of getting over anything. If you're playing Monarchs, you pretty much have an out to it. The only real decks that are going to be affected by Natori Beast is Pepe. Pepe is hurt really, really badly by Natori Beast. Because, well, they don't really have an out to it. Unless you got something for it that I'm not seeing normally. But, yeah, it is what it is. So, those are the 5 cards I think we're going to see the most out of over the next month, next 4 weeks. So let me know what you guys think down below. What do you think will rise up? What cards do you see rising up in popularity, if I have mentioned them, and why? Just sound off in the comments below. I'll answer once I feel a little bit better. But thank you guys so much for watching and so much for the support. I'm ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe for more. I'm going to power through just the editing so that way tomorrow I can get stock market out for you guys. But thank you so much.